Hello everyone and good evening. Welcome to this stream of the live. It is me. Live. On a stream. What more do you want? Welcome magnificent no. I was reading that as magnificent fish. But it's magnificent tish. As in, like, you're kind of magnificent, but not entirely, so you're magnificent-ish. I prefer a magnificent fish. It's much more interesting. I always have trouble playing these snow-heavy scenarios because of how bright everything is, so we'll see if I can stick around for the stream. Now, that is an interesting comment, because that brightness of the snow, and to a lesser extent the desert, does influence my decision of whether to include it in a video. Like, very far on in a video, snow or sand is fine. But in the first, like, minute or so, I tend to avoid it. Because if you have, like, very bright snow as the first shot, that looks a bit... doesn't look nice, right? Preferably, I'd like to have grass. Dirty grass works too. Sometimes dirt, depending on the scenario, works as well. But snow or sand, I mean, there are worse things. like a disco floor or a chessboard floor. That's worse. But snow or sand isn't great. Happy birthday to me. Happy birthday to you, Major Geeks. How old did you get? Or should I ask, how young did you get? I tried downloading OpenRCT2 yesterday for the first time in a while, but I lost my disc for the game. That sucks, but you can get it for cheap usually on either Good Old Game or Steam. Alright, let's get into it. Alpine Adverntures. Once again, my Twitch is somehow... It's been that recently. My Twitch is not loading my live stream if I have it on before I start live streaming. I have to reload. Anyway, I see it now. My age is now 37. That's older than me by almost 10 years. So... still quite young. Alright, this is Alpine Adventures. It's a big, well, lazily built mountain range, to be honest. And we have a little path here. And one chairlift, which is set at a speed that is way too low and it's not playing music. Let's do ice style. Where is the music? Huh? It's only playing at station 1? Huh, I never knew that. Interesting. Anyway, we should set it to 14 kilometers per hour. It's much better. Now it can actually properly transport a good number of guests. Now eventually I do want to build a path up the mountain, but that's kind of expensive, so it's not necessary for now. Now we'll start by building a merry-go-round, because of course that's what we do, right? Hello, obsidian slab. You are not in Minecraft. And probably will never be. Oh, thank you for the birthday subs, Major Geeks. 5 gifted subs, thank you very much. And immediately Obsidian Slab got lucky. Oh well, depends on how much you want it. Like, I've been on streams of others and got gifted a sub and I'm like, okay, that's very nice of you, but doesn't make a difference for me, to be honest. It's mostly the same, you know, when I've subbed to others, I don't really care about the sub, about having the sub. I just care about supporting them. There are some emojis that you get, I think, and like if you sub for a long time, you get some special icon. Something like that. Okay, let's make this a bit more snow and ice themed, or just combined snice themed. It's very nice. Bragging rights. I guess you could brag with having a sub. But what about having a dom? Now, a merry-go-round isn't gonna make us a ton of money. You know what will? A roto-drop. My support is through YouTube Premium and watching your videos. Yes. I do appreciate that. YouTube Premium is much more profitable for me than someone watching advertisements. I don't know exactly the numbers, but if you compare my premium revenue, my premium viewers, then my percentage of premium revenue is higher. And the longer the video, the bigger the difference usually is. Icy blue is the most snow and ice. Icy blue and white, those are the two snow and ice themed colors. I mean, this is almost identical to the snow. If we make everything this, it looks very, very, very ugly. I like that. And how about we make this yellow? Okay, we can charge $10 for this. Now, the goal is to get 7,000 in a month. I don't give a crap about the goal. Let's see if we can do that 10 times. Let's go for 70,000. That does assume we get the cash machine, which we do. Very, very nice. I don't need a t-shirt stall there. I want a toilet. Price manager. Oh yeah, I should use the price manager if we go for absolute maximum. There we go. So I made this 10. What does the price manager think? 21! I can't even do that. When I play a park, I just go for the best park possible, but I make it look ugly as hell. So, define best? Because you mean most functional park, right? You know, most profitable, most guests, stuff like that. That's what I used to do back in the day. And my parks were always ugly. But those aren't always the best parks. From scenario play perspective, I guess, yes they are. But, you know, from any kind of nice looking perspective, they're not. They're really not the best parks. How you doing? I missed the start. What park are you playing? I'm playing this park. I hope that brief split second was enough for you to take on all its glory. It's called Alpine Adverntures. It's like Magnisanti in SimCity 3000, function over form. I mean, that's what I'm still at. Usually, that's still my thing. But you know, I've kind of. What award do we get? Safest park in the country. Neat. I've kind of gotten more into form as well. 228 per hour and already 4,000 per hour. That's ridiculous. Ooh, 20 cents more now because we did a thing. Yes, that's helpful in describing. We did a thing. What I meant with that is scenery. Ooh, hang on. We need to enable Enable viewer rewards. Let's see. Name a ride of your choice. Drown a guest. Pick a coaster type. Fire all the staff. There we go. Have fun with it. Do the thing was a Legend of Korra reference. I'm not sure if I was doing that. If I was doing that, it was unintentional. But yeah, speaking of Legend of Korra, I am watching the Avatar Netflix series of Legend of Aang, of Last Airbender. I'm 5 of 8 episodes deep now. Yeah, I definitely didn't originate from Korra, but I have watched Korra, so it was not unthinkable that I did a Korra reference. Because I love Korra. Drown guest 69 as is tradition. Of course. Well, we have a few drowning ponds to choose from. Well, I was hoping for more than 2. I'll pick the small one. A small grave. There's snow on the ground, yet it is 10 degrees. Mate, I have skied in 10 degree weather. With the sun out. On real snow. Ask a geography question. You are the one asking the question. No, I'm not. Like, if you want to see if I know a certain geographical fact, that's what that's for, you know, to get the discussion like that going. Don't forget to rename the park. Oh, did we get that as well? Oh, I missed that as the other one came immediately after that. I mixed them up. I thought Duvel did the drowning thing. Hot Desert Land. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. Well, pick a coast type for me to build. We have these available. Tell us something about Poland. Any fact? There's a city there called Tomasz Mazowiecki, which has an ice rink. Poland has 3 ice rinks soon. Well, more than 3, but soon 3 covered ones. Because Zakopane is about to be covered indoor, like 400 meter Olympic size ice rinks. Tomasz Mazowiecki is already indoor, and Warsaw is probably going to be an indoor rink as well in a few years. I want to see you do a bobsled coaster, alright. Another fact about Poland. They order their roads, like their kind of minor highways, decently nicely. Fairly easy to find on the map. I know that because GeoGuessr. In fact, Poland does a really good job with general signage. Like, I've played Poland on GeoGuessr before, like specifically only Poland on the map, and I managed to get really good scores, partly because it's signposted very well. Like, you have, if you cross any kind of like bigger highway which has like a shield and a number, you know, like an interstate or US highways, you know, similar to that. It's always signed very well with, you know, cities and kilometers, you know, kilometer distances to those cities. And if you go smaller, you get lots of signs which says like, you know, I'm going to invent a Polish city name. Whatever sounds Poles make. It'd be like 2.5 kilometers that way. And that makes it really helpful. For example, the S11. Maybe. I don't know Polish roads that well by heart. I can find them usually if I need to for GeoGuessr, but I don't know many by heart. I don't know if they have like the big roads, I believe, are red. They have red shields. You know which country is terrible with signage towards nearby places? The US. Whenever I play GeoGuessr in the US, you know, if it's like an interstate or a US highway, you know, you'll get the number. That's all fine. But no, Belgium is fairly alright, Duvel. The problem with the US is that whenever you go off a big road, it will say like Greenway Boulevard is off that road. I don't give a crap what road name is off that road. I want to know the name of the city that I'm trying to reach. Like, seriously, why? Like, sometimes they'll have cities. It's not like that never happens, but I don't understand. Hey, Yarsnel, welcome, and thank you for the 26 months. Our street road names are very uninspired. It's not the names that are a problem. It's the fact that there's a road name on the exit sign. Like, that doesn't exist in the Netherlands. Maybe for like a couple of incredibly famous roads, like the Dam or something like that, which is more than just a road, but also just, you know, a place. But in the USA, if I play GeoGuessr, I see that everywhere, and I don't get it. Like, for GeoGuessr it's not useful, but I also don't get how it's useful in real life. Like, if I'm driving to, say, Spier, which is a village in Drenthe in the Netherlands, then, you know, I'm driving on the highway and then I see, oh, that exit has Spier. And then I'll take that exit. And then, you know, once you're off the exit, you'll get at the junction and there'll be another sign pointing towards Spier. I think it's because there are multiple exits in each city. That, like, we have that too. You know, you'll have like sometimes very, like, if there are other numbered roads, there'll be like the N something or the S something. Those are really big numbered roads, which you can find on the map with the number. Or the N something, you know, or another highway. The problem with the US is that it's basically never any villages or cities. I think it's because the locals already know the name of the nearby cities. Yeah, but you don't make road signs for the locals. They don't need them. Like, if they already know where stuff is, they don't need them. That's not what you make road signs for. You make road signs for people who don't know. The ones traveling usually take the interstate, which has decent signage. Like, do they? Like, if you're traveling, you have 50 kilometers. There isn't an interstate every 50 kilometers. If you're traveling 50 kilometers, then you would take... you know, probably some smaller roads, but you might not know every village and city near stuff. Like, I was once, this more than a year ago, but I was playing GeoGuessr. That was on a live stream as well, and I was dropped somewhere, I think in the Midwest, and there was some town was like 10 kilometers away or something like that. But at least the distance wasn't posted. And I think there wasn't even a... I think there wasn't even a sign posted. Like, we were on the major road towards that town. And there were no signs posted that I could find. So I had a lot of trouble with that location. Forgot exactly the details, but it was something like that. Am I VIP now? No, you're not, because because I haven't figured out how to do that yet. I can make you mod, but I don't know. Hang on, I'll Google that. How to make someone in Twitch chat VIP. Because I've done it before, but I keep forgetting. Let's see, how to manage roles. I need to go to the roles manager. Interesting. Community roles manager. There we go. Let's see, Nisse. Wait a minute. Oh, you spelled it with an E here. Did I get the right one? Yeah. Let's see if that works. If I got the wrong one, I might just make some rando that has no idea I exist a VIP. Sly should be the first one to be made VIP. He already is. Would you be excited for RST2 plus Fortnite? No. Hey, it works. Okay, so these are the stats. 559, 612, 475. Length of 672 meters. With a bit of scenery, this would work in a harder gas generation scenario, which this one actually is. I wasn't trying to make that point at the start of that scenario. I was going to be like, this would work for a harder gas generation scenario. And then I was like, hang on. This one actually has harder gas generation. Right? Scenario options. Yeah, there it is. The guests are more difficult to attract. Now, it doesn't make a difference under 1,000 guests. And we're going to advertise anyway, so it doesn't really matter. Because with the advertisements will always be way above what we can naturally attract. Oh, this thing is broken down at the wrong station. Let me guess. Oh no, I just don't have any mechanics. Then it won't get fixed, definitely. Oh, we have the most beautiful park in the country. Hell yeah. Look at that. Most beautiful park awards. But yeah, I don't give a crap about Fortnite. And I think most people here don't. Like, if you play it, that's fine. You can play whatever game you want and enjoy it. But I don't give a crap. Never played it. Don't have any desire to. I do like Fortnite. Well, I hope you have a lot of fun playing it. As I say, that's perfectly fine. Just that most people here probably don't because of, well, the nature of the people in this chat. How much would it cost to flatten the entire park? Okay, there's a little bit underground there, but we can see. So if I save this, stream 2024, and I just quickly remove all the rights so that, you know, there's nothing underground in the way. Then I just give myself an obscene amount of money. 5 million should do the trick. And then we just lower everything. We can see how much it costs. And that cost us 1.75 million. The no money cheat. Yeah, how do I know how much it costs without money? That doesn't work. But the answer to your question is 1.75 million. I suspect we're a slightly older crowd in here, given the RCT nostalgia. Yes, you are. And you know what's amazing? You can perfectly see that through the evolution of my demographics on YouTube. When I started out, like, 2018, 2019, I would have about equal in 18 to 24 and 24 to 35. No, I don't think that's true. Is that true? Hang on. Hang on, let me get my YouTube stats, because there was something, but I need to see what they are now to remember what they are. Audience. Yeah, no, that was true. It was, yeah, I can show this. There you go. So these are my YouTube demographics. Go away. Hey, exactly half of my viewers in the last 28 days were not subscribed. It's mostly male. But that's a very low percentage, the 88%. Because it used to be like 96, 97 when I started out. Female 10%, the highest I've ever seen on this channel. Used to be literally 3%. Now, and this one's interesting. 0.9%, 13 to 17, so underage 0.9. Maybe slightly more because people give up false older ages, but not much more. It doesn't happen that often. 18 to 24, 16%. 25 to 34, the majority, 75.5, 57.5%. 35 to 44, 20%, and then a few older than that. Now, this is really interesting, because it used to be about, maybe 40% 18 to 24 and 40% 25 to 34. But that's about 5 years ago, right? In those 5 years, all the 18 to 24 year olds have turned into 25 to 34 year olds, and half of these have gotten into the 35 to 44 year old bracket. But that means that my audience ages with me. Makes sense, because Rollercoaster Tycoon isn't getting that many new players. It's getting a few, but not that many. So my audience ages with me, and RCT1 came out 25 years ago. So anyone who's in the 18 to 24 year old bracket was not alive when RCT1 came out. So yeah, you guys are on average. I'm 27, so I'm near the bottom of the 25 to 34. I'm a bit younger than the median age on my channel, on my viewers. But yeah, most people will be around 30 years. Will probably be the average 30, 32. You're like, time passes by. Oh my god, you're like sarcastic, and. I get what you mean, but a lot of channels, probably, like Jacksepticeye or something like that, probably has a bit of like an evolving, like a rotating viewership base. Some people keep on viewing forever, of course, but a lot of people will stop watching those kinds of channels when they turn a bit older, and younger people discover those people and start watching, right? But that's not what happens with channels like mine. Snow thing. I'm not hearing anything. Oh, there it comes. I hear wind. Snow theme just makes me think of Loneliness by Winter Sun. Which is an epic, epic song. It's also called Winter. You were maybe going to start uploading VODs to YouTube again. Where are you with that? Yeah, I still need to do that. My apologies. The thing is, do I like start uploading like twice a day and start with where I left off, or do I just skip like half a year or longer and start where I'm at now? That's the question. The longer you wait, the more problematic that becomes. Do you like waffles? I never really have them. They're not really a thing in the Netherlands. Like, I do actually have a waffle iron, I believe. Or what is a toasty iron? I forgot. Whatever. For my new house when I get one, but I've had them on like holidays and stuff, and yeah, I like them. Like, who doesn't like waffles? I don't mean, like, you don't need to love waffles to like them, right? Like, most people... I forget, is it tosti? Is that an English word? I just said tosti as if it is. I'm not sure if it is. It might just be only Dutch. Is it? It's toasty in English. Really? Basically what it is, it's bread and then ham and cheese and then another slice of bread. And then you put that between two hot iron things. And your bread toasts and you have melted cheese and ham in between. Thank you for the 2 months, 737 Factor. Named after the plane? Or something else? Grilled cheese sandwich in Canada. Ah, but there's also ham in there. Like a hamkaas tosti is very common in the Netherlands. Sounds like a panini. No, panini is like the shape of a baguette, right? That kind of bread. In my head, a panini has the shape of a baguette. You know, long round bread, like a long cylinder. That's not what we have. I'll freaking Google it for you. This is a tosti. You can see the ham, sometimes it's maybe bacon, and the cheese, and the bread, and we usually eat it with ketchup. You can see that here in the background. Tosti Hawaii? Oh god, did they put yeah, I think I see it. Pineapple on there. Why do they have a recipe for a tosti? Why do you need a recipe for that? Like, what is this recipe? Let's see. Cut the bread in slices of each 1 centimeter. Put a little bit of butter on it. And put them with the buttered side on the... How the hell do you translate werkvlak? With the buttered side down? What? Put on half of them cheese, tomatoes and ham. Put the rest of the bread with the buttered side up. And lightly push on it. And make them in 5 minutes golden brown. And crusty. I guess having a recipe for that is nice. Of course, you don't put butter on the outside. No, but... Well, apparently you do. Because... No, I never do. I never put butter on a toasty. I don't. Not that I really ever make toasties, but whenever I do, I don't put butter on the outside. That's like the default is just bread, ham, cheese, bread, and then you push it in your toasty iron or toasty iron. Grilled cheese iron. Drink some water. Oh, good idea. Or, as it says, drink some water. It's called a panini in America. You know, what I find weird about it is it's... Hang on, let me see what I get if I Google panini. Yeah, you see, if I Google panini... I get, well, mostly anyway, not entirely, but mostly, you know, these kind of shapes. Which is a different shape. Not entirely, they call this a panini too. But still. But I'm not a culinary master. I don't know that much about bread and toasties and whatnot. Hey, we made it. I don't give a crap. That's not what I'm here for. Oh, poor little guy. This is a bit of a weird coaster design. But hey, as long as it works, I'm down with it. Butter or mayo on the outside? Mayo? Why would you put mayo on that? Mate, yo. Why would you do that? That doesn't sound nice. And I was gonna say, you know, that Dutch mayo is different than American mayo, so that might be why you do that. But you are Dutch. That argument doesn't go up. No, but it doesn't sound nice to me, mayo on the outside of a toasty. Yeah, don't blame America for this one. In a lot of burger places, they do put mayo on the buns before toasting them, do they? As I said, I don't know much about food, so could be. I just know what food I like. And I know that I generally dislike anything with fish. Well, I mean, that's a bit too much. Like, if fish is a small part of something, it's fine. But if it's like a big part, like just, hey, we're having fish, then no, thank you. of course, if I'm eating somewhere and that's whatever, you know, if I'm eating at a friend's place and they've made that without me saying, hey, I don't like that or whatever, yeah, I'll eat it. Like, that's fine. I don't dislike it that much. But I've never ever ordered fish, except maybe something with salmon. In a restaurant. I've had fish in a restaurant multiple times. But that was because that was a restaurant where you don't have a menu. You just go there and you get whatever you get that day. Once was for a bachelor party. I had, I think, herring. Not raw, luckily. And once for my brother's birthday party. We ate at a restaurant called Het Jagertje in Den Haag. Translated to Little Hunter. Which is very nice. If you're ever there, Den Haag, The Hague, and you want something fancy, but not too fancy. Like, you do want to dress up a little bit, but just a button-down shirt is enough. Like, you don't need to go in a suit or your best evening dress there. But it is fancy enough that you're like, yeah, you know, it's a little bit more pricey and you want to dress up a little bit. But it was really nice. And it was kind of a step up compared to your general restaurant experience in that they actually, you know, one of the servers came to our table and actually explained more in detail what it all was and stuff, instead of just like, I'll have this burger, and then, alright, you know. That was nice. And at the end, the cook came out, the chef, and we had a little talk with him as well. Absolutely lovely, and you know, it's a very nice dining experience. We sat there for, I think, maybe 4 hours. Maybe 3.5 hours. Absolutely lovely. How much do we charge for this? Ooh, 9 intensity. Whoopsie. Well, it's not really a whoopsie, but it's quite high, you know. 1740, baby. Woo! That is a lot. Alright, let's have a proper, like, stall court thingy. It's not necessarily just a food court, because we're selling all the stuff too. Does it annoy you guys that I placed the balloon stall in this kind of corner of the path instead of the info kiosk? Should probably build a path toward. Well, we can't really afford it. We're not making that much money yet. It's more that I'm spending a lot. I think I need to renew the ad soon. Well, we have a week left still for that. How much more can I... Oh, I can borrow a lot. I should just build more rides. How about a big ol' woody? That'll make us some good money. Does Little Caesars exist in the Netherlands? I don't know. Is that a food chain? Like, there definitely exist food chains in the Netherlands that I have no idea exist here. So that's why I said I don't know. But according to Duvel, it doesn't. Wendy's doesn't exist here either. And the tale of why Wendy's doesn't exist is an absolutely fantastic one. I absolutely love it. And because Wendy's tried to get to the Netherlands, or at least the Benelux, which is Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg. I don't know if it was specifically the Netherlands. But I think it was. But they couldn't use the name Wendy's. Why? Well, there's a snack bar in Zeeland, the province of the Netherlands, that is called Wendy's. And they hold the trademark for that in the Benelux. And they went to court. Of course. Of course they did. Very stereotypically American. They lost. So, no Wendy's here. Well, we do have Wendy's. That's snack bar. Never been, of course. It's in Zeeland, the other side of the country. We don't go to a snack bar for that. But I'm very happy that that's a thing that happened. That the court system was actually, yeah, screw you, big company. This small company is in their right. Seeing what news I heard about Wendy's this week, I'm glad they aren't here. What happened? Because I have no idea. I think the same happened with Burger King, but in Australia. They're called Hungry Jacks in Australia, right? They're gonna try surge pricing on the burgers. So, I know that surge pricing means raising pricing, of course, but I assume it's a specific way of doing that. How does that work exactly? Higher costs at busy times. Okay, it makes sense why that would work. It also makes sense why that's a big move. Wasn't there a similar story about McDonald's in Ireland? An Irish restaurant called Big Mac or something that McDonald's sued. Small place won and the Irish court made McDonald's pay a bunch of royalties to the small place. Sounds believable. I've no idea if it's actually true. But sounds very believable. I've never heard of it. That did happen. I've heard that too. Oh, apparently it's true. You know what? I should just build that along this ridge. There we go. And we should also connect this via here. We can charge an absolute crap ton for this. During Chuck E. Cheese's language, talking, speaking. During Chuck E. Cheese's short, that's a tongue twister, lifespan in Australia, they had to rename themselves to Charlie Cheese because in Australia, Chuck means throw up. Oh yeah, I've heard of, you know, stuff like that before, where one thing means something very different in the same language in another country. Yeah, the Netherlands doesn't have that many chain restaurants. So we have a bunch, don't get me wrong. We have McDonald's, we have Burger King, we have KFC, we have New York Pizza, we have... do we have Pizza Hut? I'm not sure. But we do have Domino's, we have Subway. But it's not that many. Fabo, right, that's specifically a Dutch thing, right? How about a wild mice coaster? But yeah, if you go to like an Italian place here, you get like pasta or something, like then it's almost always some kind of family-owned thing. Or maybe it's like a chain with like 3 or 4 restaurants in 2 cities. Just got done with dinner, even later than usual. I believe I've been to a Five Guys in somewhere in the Netherlands. I'm not sure where, but yeah, I think they exist here. I was playing Pokemon Violet Dulk earlier and didn't want to interrupt it to make dinner. That makes sense. I remember how much I played Pokemon X when I first got it. When I first got Pokemon X, we got home at 5 minutes past 2 on a Saturday afternoon, the day it released, after we got it from the city. So I started playing. I didn't stop playing, except for dinner, until 5:30 in the morning. 2:05 in the afternoon. You know, we just got the city also to buy other stuff like clothes or whatever, I forget. So then we got home and I started playing and didn't stop playing except for dinner and a shower until 6:30 in the morning. Now, then it was Sunday, of course, and we always have family breakfast on Sunday. Well, had. I don't live at home anymore. And always at 10 AM. And I was there. Like it's not like I was just shutting myself in. But I woke up at 9:30, so after 4 hours of sleep. Then I played for half an hour. Then I continued playing after the breakfast or brunch. Then I think I did hang up the laundry at about 3:30 in the afternoon or something. Then we had dinner. I think I had my shower that evening or the day before. One of those days I had a shower in the evening as well. Other than that, I did nothing but play the game. So I played it, I think, for about like 9 hours on that Saturday. Keep in mind, I got the game about 10 hours before the Saturday ended. And I played it for 17.5 hours on the Sunday. Which is from midnight till midnight. 17.5 hours. So, of which about 4 hours was sleep. And 3 hours was eating, doing chores, and that kind of stuff. It was kind of ridiculous. On what day did you finish it? I was really, really slow, actually. You know why? Because as soon as I got the XP share, I turned it off. The problem is that that game is kind of built... Oh, it's not making it. That game is kind of built on using the XP share. You can't... Like, it goes really slowly without it. But I was used to playing without an XP share. So, until one of my friends told me to turn it on, I made progress really slowly. I don't know how many hours it took me to beat it, but probably like 3 or 4 days. Oh, I would have totally been a Pokemon YouTuber if I did YouTube 10 years ago. I was on Pokemon Showdown until, past midnight nearly every day. I was a mod in one of the biggest chat rooms there. I traded Pokemon that I bred myself. I still have technically 150 fully trained battle ready Pokemon. So that's 5 boxes of IV bred, EV trained, fully evolved Pokemon with all the right moves and stuff. They're still my son, which is the last game I played. And it's absolutely ridiculous how much I played Pokemon. I played Pokemon X the first year for 1100 hours. That's on average about 3 hours a day for a year straight. Can you beat Pokemon X with just one Rattata? I might have been, you know, something similar to Pekaspri. Who else don't like can you beat Pokemon Red with just a Ditto? I think he's done something like that a couple of times. He's mostly known for his soft lock escapes. Which kind of like, you know, the impossible scenario I did a video on last week. He'll make or my long scenarios, because Pekaspri is known for making like situations where you only have like a level 100 Magikarp with only Splash and you're trapped somewhere where you can only really slowly deplete your moves and you need to be struggled to death by wild level 2 Rattatas, you know, stuff like that, and it takes like 200 hours to get out of a situation. That's kind of the content, some of the content that Pekaspri makes, and I absolutely love it. I should probably actually test and open this. But yeah, back in 2013, 2014, there was a YouTuber called Rycard who made Pokemon videos, and I was a mod in his Twitch chat. I think I still am. Although I'm not active there anymore. I think he's not active either. And you know, so many different things that I did in the world of Pokemon. I still talk to my old buddies from Pokemon Showdown, from the mod team, every now and then. I'm still on their Discord server. In fact, I am the reason they made a specific role. Because after years of very intense work as mod, from like 2014 to 2018, I resigned. I wasn't playing the game anymore, so I resigned as moderator. And they didn't want to kick me out of that Discord because they liked me. So they were like, alright, we'll make a new role called Retirement Home. We'll give you that. You will lose access to all the staff channels, but you'll keep access to the social channels. And, you know, I became inactive in that Discord for years. And recently I logged on to Pokemon Showdown again after like 3-4 years of not having done it. And I saw a familiar name there who recognized me as well. We got talking, and I got talking in the Discord server. And the funny thing is, people knew what I was doing there. Because they had shared my videos in that server, knowing it was me. Not like, hey, look at this YouTuber I found. They knew it was me. Were you ever into the trading card game? No. I mean, I got a few Pokemon cards when I was a kid, but not many, and I was never into collecting them. Never cared for the trading card game. I still am, by the way, a voice on the Pokemon Showdown, like global voice. Because I was moderator of a specific chat room, but voice is basically VIP. I got global voice for my work for the chat room, and you basically never lose that. You don't have to stay active. So whenever I log on there, I still get that, and I still am at the top of the user list. My username there is Bjartkular, which means bright scales in the old language from Aragon. Thank you for the follow, Dark1857. Also, there was a kind of period, I think mostly 2014, 2015, where people used to add symbols behind their name. Because, you had your alphanumeric characters, which was your actual name on Showdown, but you could add all kind of symbols and stuff, and that wouldn't change the username, but they would show up. And at some point, I added a check mark at the end of my name, back when I still had a different username on there, and that has kind of become my thing there. I was the guy with the check mark, and I still use that whenever I go online. And I find that kind of funny that, at some point people recognize me for it as well. People had stars, some people had like the C from check marked and that kind of stuff. And, well, I had the check mark. Wait, did I say the C from check marked? Hang on. What does the C... Copyrighted, not check marked. I was thinking about my check mark. Anyway, it was a very good time. So many long evenings, talking to all kind of people there. Lovely people, absolutely lovely people. And some of them are still around, either as mods or in the social channels of that staff Discord server. Doesn't mean everything was good there. There were a lot of scandals on Pokemon Showdown. Basically, it's a server, a chat room, with a lot of young kids. Well, I don't think I need to say more if I'm saying there are a lot of young kids and there were scandals. Not everyone was nice. We shall put it like that. Hang on, I think this one misses... Yeah, this one doesn't have a drop high enough. Timing of my comment is terrible. Yeah, you should have totally gotten into Showdown. Perfect place for you, Max. No, but basically, at my time there were a few, like even admins, who were at some point banned for, well, inappropriate messages with mostly young girls. And I do know there were actually young girls there because at some point a 13-year-old girl was a moderator in the chat room I was moderating as well. Which I think is way too young to be a moderator on an internet forum, but, that aside. And I don't think she had ever any problems with anyone, but... there were girls and boys, plenty of boys too, probably more because Pokemon mostly played by boys, on Pokemon Showdown. But it was kind of really bad in hindsight, and I didn't notice, that how bad it was at the time. Was that admin by any chance named Hunter? Yep, that guy. At the time I did not necessarily notice how bad it was. I was 17, 18, a bit naive still. But when I got back in, a few months ago, chatting to the old staff members, at some point I mentioned some kind of old staff members, be like, oh, I wonder what became of them. And literally, 2 different ones. I got a message from one of my old friends there who used to be an admin, like, hey, we don't talk about that user anymore for those kind of reasons that I didn't know about. Because it was only discovered after I left. Which is kind of ridiculous. And also, you know, in the staff itself, which I only kind of realized later, it was quite toxic for a long time. There was an admin that was also banned for similar reasons. It's ridiculous. There was a room admin, like not an admin, but a room owner, who was kind of, everyone was a little bit afraid of him. Like I definitely was. Like I didn't really want to disagree with him. And, you know, there were, at the time, you know, there were a few girls, they're not necessarily underage, but, you know, girls or young women, who were, well, let's just say the way they were talked to was not nice. A bit predatory. Not necessarily terrible, but... you know, maybe a little bit of pressure to just share pictures of themselves. Not anything scandalous, just, you know, their face. Because the guys would be like, well, we did it. You know. And I might have said one or two things that in hindsight I was like, that wasn't the most tactful thing to say. But I never said anything bad. What did you say? Well, at the time there were like, you know, chats. We had there was a specific 18 plus room where there was a lot of chatter about, well, sexual stuff. And in those kind of chats with, you know, some of the women that partook in that, in hindsight, I'm like, that was not an appropriate conversation to have there. Ooh, let's fire all the staff. That's a good idea. Now, I'm not going into any details. And I was also partly pressured into it by, you know, kind of the room owners who was like, yeah, of course we do that, yada yada yada. Not necessarily hardly pressured outwardly, but, you know, sort of kind of an implicit pressure a little bit. And those guys were like between like 25, 30 years old. They should have known better. But I was still 17 when I joined the staff. I should have, you know, for some of the things in hindsight I should have also known better, but I never said anything terrible. You were 17 when you joined the 18 plus group. No, at that time I was 18. Because the staff Discord server didn't come along for like 2 years after I joined as staff there. Because before that, in like 2014 I joined as staff. I think Discord did maybe exist at that point, but it wasn't really a thing. Drown 420. Oh, I'm not sure if they're still in the park, but we can have a look. Ooh, yeah, they are. We can't see them drown, but we can feel it. So basically, in hindsight, that, you know, group of moderators, and it was a bit toxic and mostly, you know, done by the room owners and stuff. Nothing terrible. Like, no abuse or anything went on there. At least that I was aware of. But at some point I was chatting with, you know, one of the girls there. I think he was about 20 years old. And it was partly about one of the room owners who she was afraid of. And that's not nice. At the time, I didn't really do much, because I didn't know how to handle that. I was about the same age. But in hindsight, yeah, that's not a good thing. We can pay back all this loan. That'll save us nearly 400 a month. But I still had plenty of great memories at Pokemon Showdown. And a very positive thing there is that I learned how to mod. How to deal with idiots. How to deal with cunts. You know, how to deal with people who spam you for 10 minutes straight, wishing you to die. Calling you the N-words. All that kind of stuff. I learned how to deal with that, which is useful. Definitely helped me when I started modding Roller Coaster Tycoon Discord servers. Not that that happened a lot there, but every now and then I would be a dick. But also just, you know, general modding experience. Modding experience is also useful for when people are nice. And I just had a really good time there, you know, trading Pokemon, talking about Pokemon, playing in little tournaments, all that kind of stuff. I wonder what game franchise's community is objectively the most toxic. Well, of all the ones I've been an active part in, which is, I think, Pokemon, Roller Coaster Tycoon, and Age of Empires. Maybe you could count Call of Duty, as I did play it a lot, but I never was really part of the community outside that. Of all of those, Pokemon is by far the most toxic. Like, no contest. But that's also not really difficult if you're up against Pokemon and Age of Empires, because they are both really wholesome. Sorry, if you're against Roller Coaster Tycoon and Age of Empires. Which are both really wholesome. League of Legends. Oh yeah, that might be. I've heard stories about League of Legends. Now this is a big drop. The community outside the game isn't abysmal, but the people you interact with in the matches are awful. I didn't really have much of that in Call of Duty, but that's because I mostly just play it with the friends and never talk to strangers in game. Do you have the candy theme? If so, put a big old drop next to the big drop. Hey, we do. This is mostly English drop, which I don't particularly like. I don't like the taste of English drop. Which we should really translate drop. Drop is Dutch for licorice. I don't like English licorice. What is this coaster? Expensive. Very expensive. And you know what? Should put a massive looping here. 2 of them. Sweet licorice is just generally eh. Well, you know, you have like Munt Drop, which is sweet, which is alright, but that's... Salty is usually better, but, you know, English licorice is just... Ugh. I really dislike it. Do you like salmiak? I'm Dutch, of course I do. It's always funny to me that, you know, English people are like, or Americans are like, salmiak, or, you know, that's what they eat in Finland, and it's one of the weird things they eat there. And I'm like, what do you mean? It's just a nice kind of licorice. It's just, you know, just candy, just nice. It never occurred to me that it's weird. Best type of licorice. Sweet, salt, double salt, salmiak. Just salt. My mom always has ovaltjes, which is little ovals, in her car. They're really good. Simple, but good. Look at the mountain flickering when I move this around. It's like the game can't resolve it with all the lines being drawn. But yeah, imagine how different, you know, coming back to what we were talking about earlier, how different life would be if I were a PokeTuber. Some of you may have still found me, maybe Max. And I imagine my style would still be similar. It would be so different. You know, for me especially it would be very different, because in Roller Coaster Tycoon, I am by far the biggest, you know, YouTuber who plays exclusively Roller Coaster Tycoon. So, and in basically any other game, I wouldn't be. So that's how it would immediately be incredibly different. Not necessarily bad, just different. RCT itself would have been smaller if you had been a PokeTuber. Maybe, but it could also be that someone else would have stood up and kind of done my thing. You know, what I'm doing now. Because someone was bound, you know, with OpenRCT2 gaining popularity and all that kind of experimentation being easier to do. Oh, hang on, I should rehire staff. Someone was bound to make like a proper longer roller coaster, right, at some point, which I did in 2017. I just happened to be there first. We probably don't need 50 handyman, 30 should be enough. So yeah, while I am the biggest Roller Coaster Tycoon YouTuber, and I won't deny, you know, the impact I've had on the size of the community, it's very possible that someone else would have, you know, kind of jumped in my place if I hadn't been there. It's kind of like when people say, oh, you know, we have to thank the Wright brothers for flight. Like, yeah, they did invent the airplane, but someone else probably would have invented it not too long after that anyway. So, of course, give them all the credit, but it's not like that without them we would not have aeroplanes. Building paths here in the mountains is kind of a good exercise to, well, get better at that, I guess. We can charge 2420 for this. And this, the coaster like this has a ridiculous throughput. Wait, is this still in 10 seconds? Yes it is, that's bad. Wait, sweet licorice has won? How? Salt is so much better. Hey, thank you for the 4 months, Kenzer 2. Thank you for the follow 2 minutes ago. AV Jeeks as well. Because Scholkruid. Scholkruid, is that sweet? Like, I've just had that literally a few days ago. I think that's salt, right? Is that sweet? I think it's because salt is divided into salt and salmiak. If you add them together, it's more than sweet. Perhaps that could be the reason. Is Schol... Well, I really liked... When I think of sweet drop, I don't think of Scholkruid. I have a specific taste in my mouth that's a bit different than that. Of course, there's multiple kinds of sweet licorice. But yeah, it's also not salty, so yeah. Okay, how about a good old launched freefall? Isn't English licorice sweet? It is, but as I said, you know, sweet and salty aren't just tastes. You know, sweet things can have a very large variety of tastes. And English drop licorice is disgusting. Like, the taste is just... ugh. I haven't had it in years, so I don't really know how to describe it. But I just know that whenever I've had it, it's just always been... ugh. And I remember, like, the last time I've had it, I was like, maybe it's not so bad anymore. And I had one piece and I was like, no, ugh. Never again. That's properly horrifying. Has a coconut taste. It's not just the taste, it's the texture. It's much softer. If you bite into it, it's much softer than it seems like. I despise that texture. Like, I'm not a fan of coconut in general, and you say it has a coconut taste. Well, that might be part of it. Some coconut things are alright for me, not great, but you know, they'll do. I hate English licorice. Marcel only likes rock hard things then. You know it, baby. You know what I do really, really like? I quite like bread, but of course there are many different types of breads, right? Right? If you have like kind of like one of the German breads, where the crust is so hard that it can actually cut you, then you know you have a good bread. I don't like that type of bread. Well, you're a culture barbarian. I don't think that's an English term, but it's a literal translation of the term cultuurbarbaar, which we have in Dutch. A culture barbarian. Someone who has a taste that you think is very affront to your culture, so you call them a culture barbarian. How do you eat that? I don't know. I've never had any trouble eating it, but I've been cut by it when picking it up. Like picking up the bread. But once it's cut and, you put it on a plate and you put, I don't know, whatever, peanut butter on it, then it's all fine and it's easy. Uncultured. Oh yes, I should call Max an uncultured swine. That'll do. Oh, that's literally what Max said. I didn't read that yet. No, but like a bread like that, and then with a little bit of butter, and then chocolate sprinkles, or as we call it here, hagelslag, on top of it. Or honey. It's magnificent. Absolutely brilliant. Would it make this? Because we only have a very small chain of that at the start. The best bread. So, what he just showed us is this, which is typical Dutch bread. And if we go for, this kind of bread shape, where you have white bread, light brown, brown, then yeah, this is the best. White doesn't have any nutrients. Doesn't fill you up. Only makes you fat. Weirdest combination I heard is chocolate paste and pickles. Well, speaking of culture barbarians, whoever told you that is one. You know what's funny? Many years ago, I was talking to a friend about, stuff we put on bread. And at some point, I mentioned peanut butter with banana. Which is a very common thing in the Netherlands. I used to eat it literally pretty much every day. And I still eat it fairly often. He, living on literally the same street as me, had somehow never heard of it. And he was like, wait, peanut butter with banana? No. We do chocolate paste with banana. And then I was like, wait, what? Years after that, I was like, I remember that. And I was like, I might as well try it. And yeah, it's really good, chocolate paste with banana. On bread. That's really good. Wait, Max has never heard of it. Duvel has never heard of it. Likes Orange has never heard of it. Like, it doesn't count if you're Dutch. And Likes Orange, I'm not sure if you're Dutch. If you are, then it counts. Oh wait, you've definitely heard of it. Never mind, you have heard of it. Like, peanut butter and banana is just... It's just really good. It's something that I've eaten ever since I was a child. My brother doesn't like it because he doesn't like peanut butter. I believe he doesn't really like bananas either. Maybe it's a northern thing. I mean, that friend was literally living on the same street as me. Maybe I was like a few meters more northern? I'm not sure if I was. Hang on, let me Google that. I'm not going to show you because I don't want to show him where... oh, he doesn't live there anymore, but I think his parents still do. Let's see who was more northern. Okay, so I lived in that house. Oh, he was. He was more northern by probably maybe like 20, 30 meters. I sent you a picture on Discord on lunch I've had pretty much every day for the past 10 years. Let's have a look. Open link. So, it's time to judge Max. So that's a slice of bread with some kind of sausage. Kind of bread with... What is that below there? Looks a bit like filet américain with shredded cheese. And then this is very, 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 very old cheese on the left. That's incredibly old cheese. And I hate the taste of incredibly old cheese. But my brother likes it, so I get why I like it. It looks so old though. What are we looking at? Max's lunch. So this is 100% peanut butter with sambal oelek, Swiss herb cheese shredded. Sambal on bread? I've never heard of that. I like sambal. You know, our family has Indonesian roots, sort of. So, you know, I'm very familiar with that kind of Indonesian stuff. I don't have Indonesian heritage, but my mom as a kid lived in Indonesia for 6 years. When her dad, my granddad, was sent there as a pastor to work there. A toasty. A toasty is grilled bread with ham, with cheese, with another bread. I really hate the black and tan brown path in RCT. Okay, I have opinions on this. Because, duh, of course I do. I play this game for a living, of course I have opinions. The black one, this one, works really well in the snow environments. I specifically am not really a big fan of the bridges of this. You know, the elevated paths. And I tend to use mostly the two brown ones. These ones, like the full brown path, the crazy paving, light brown, and the darker brown tarmac, whatever it's called. I'm not that... The red I use somewhat often as well. The green... I mean, I'm mostly often built on grass, so the green's not great for that. You, of course, also have the grey. By the way, question for you guys. Now, this is not a good... hang on. I'm gonna flatten a mountain. Oh, whoops, that's a little bit expensive. Alright. So this color, I'll zoom in a bit, so we don't see much other stuff. What is this color? This is gray, right? But it's not 100% gray. Is it greenish gray or is it bluish gray? It's one of the two. And recently I named this in a video. Oh, it's starting to rain. I don't want the rain right now. That changes the color. There we go. Is it green or blue? Well, whatever you say, you are right. Because I needed to know for a video. And I ended up calling it blue, green, or bluish, greenish, or blue, greenish, gray, or something like that. Because I used a color picker on every single pixel of this. And it was both blue and green in equal amounts. Basically, it had equal amounts of blue and green and slightly less red. So it's both blue and green. But I put it on my Discord before that and people couldn't agree. I said it was green, I think. But people say that it was blue. I mean, you say turquoise undertone. Yeah, that makes sense. Turquoise is a combination of the two. Another question. We'll zoom in for this. What color is this shovel? Well, zooming in spoils it a bit. If we zoom out, it's better. What color is this shovel? Because this one's red. And for the cheat, they just recolored it. Yellow, olive, gold, yellow, green. You know, when I talked about this a while ago, so many people said green. I called it yellow. If we zoom in, we can see that, well, there are definitely green pixels, but there are also definitely yellow pixels. So, both? And of course, on the left side, there's a kind of a brown, greenish stuff. It's kind of like debating the color of the Reddit upvote button. Is it red or is it orange? Well, if you look at the official color of the Reddit upvote button, it's called orange-red. It's in the middle between standard orange and standard red. As far as they have a standard version of that. Okay, this floor is annoying to me. Because I want to see... I think this is the right height. I wanted to see where I was in relation to that path. The Romans used to call the sky bronze. Yeah, of course, it all depends on how you do your colors. What kind of names you use for them. It's been rumored that women have a much more, see much more variety in tones than men do. And not because men are more often colorblind, which they are, but because, and they don't literally see this, but they use more different names. Because they use a lot more words like lavender and... what all tangerine and all that, those kind of words. Whereas men just call lavender just purple. I'm not sure if there's really any truth to that, but I've seen speculations of that. See if I can find it. I think it was my XKCD. Color survey results. Was it that? Yes. This is interesting. So, yeah, some stuff. Okay, so you had a color survey. Okay, this link doesn't work anymore. Basically, you know, you got a color and they were asked to name it, and people puke and vomit are totally real colors. Colorblind people are more likely than non-colorblind people to type F this or some variant and quit in frustration. Indigo was totally just added to the rainbow, so it would have 7 colors. And make that Roy G. Biv acronym work. So apparently no one actually uses indigo. A couple of people embedded SQL drop table statement in the color names. Nice. And nobody can spell fuchsia. Okay, so this is an old webcomic thing. Where it's like color names. Zooming in on this. Oh, there we go. Color names if you're a girl, color names if you're a guy. That's what I was referencing. Oh, I should vote in this poll. Do you have any special color vision? No, I don't. This is what I was referencing, right? Red, and then girls are calling it I've never seen that word. Maraschino, and then cayenne, maroon, plum, eggplant. This is exaggerated, of course, but you know, it's kind of got the meme. And he kind of wanted, I think they wanted to test that. And probably some more stuff as well. Why when I zoom does this web page has just frozen on me? Hang on, let me reload. There we go. Okay, so this is the actual results. And yeah, apparently women used a bit more specialized color names, but not that much. Hang on. Here are the color names most disproportionately popular among women. Dusty teal, blush pink, dusty lavender, butter yellow, dusky rose. So women named these colors a lot more than men, and these are the most lopsided. Now let's have a look at the one from men, which are the most lopsided. Penis, gay, WTF, dunno, beige misspelled. Yeah, it's a thing, right? I think a lot of you will do this too. If I need to type something, you know, either I'm doing like one of those geography quizzes or I'm writing a script, and I just don't know. I know I need to type something, but my head isn't making it. Like, I can't get in my head what I want to type. Sometimes I'll type just something like penis, just, I don't know. It's a thing. I can't be the only one who does that kind of thing, right? Of course, I'll erase it. It's just, you know, when you're absent-minded. I mean, according to this, I'm not the only one. In fact, I once talked about this with a couple of other YouTubers, who also, you know, talk. You know, what do you say if you're just like screwing up or whatever? And there was some guy who just every time he screwed up or didn't know what to say, just said fart. And that's kind of become his way to kind of separate recordings by what's good, what isn't good, or something like that. Marcel in High and Mighty YouTuber Club. Yes, I am in a YouTuber Discord server. With, you know, hundreds if not thousands of other partnered YouTubers. You missed my point. Oh, my bad. Hang on. Name the wooden coaster Mars, Jupiter, 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 Mars, Venus, Jupiter, Venus, Mars, Mars. I don't know what that's a reference to, but I do know it's not going to fit. Like, not by a long shot. Not even close. I can see how far we get. This is how far we get. Mars, Jupiter, 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 Mars. Okay, so Hoover said there's a mobile game called I Love You where you arrange tiles in a color gradient. It gets harder and harder, and I've beaten every level on both 1 and 2 and it's super fun. You also check it out to see how good your color perception is. So I downloaded that app. I did 2 levels and I got bored. I have good color vision. I've done like colorblind tests. Not that I ever thought I was, but I always aced them without any difficulty. In fact, let's do one. Let's see if I can still do it. Because I'm now saying like color you test. If I can, I say I can do it, but let's see if I can actually do it. Okay, this one seems relatively simple. So the 2 on the ends are fixed, and then you got to do them in order. Can I get it there, please? Thank you. Nah, that one needs to be there. Come on. Work with me. Yeah, that seems accurate. I don't know how well... Yeah, on stream this should work. One more. I have a feeling these should be the opposite. No, definitely not. Yeah, that seems accurate. I wonder if there are any people who are like, I don't see a difference, and are like discovering now that they might be a little bit colorblind. I think that should be there. I might not get 100%, but I think I'll get at least a good score. You know, the thing, I wasn't sure if these 2 were in the correct order. And then I was like, I did that, and I was like, no, that's definitely wrong. You need a good monitor for this. Well, it's past 9 PM, so what I see differs from what you guys see, actually. I have a blue light filter, which you don't see on stream, but I do see it, so my screen is a little bit blue, or not blue, which goes up after 9 PM. Oh, oops, those should be on that side. All the way there. I think that's right already. Let's see. Yeah, no, that's definitely wrong. Swap these. No, that's definitely wrong. Score my test. Perfect score. I just wanted to brag a bit about my good color vision, because they say 50% of men have some kind of color blindness. I don't. Let's do another one. Let's see. I want to do another one. Colorblind test. I hate blue light filters. Why spend so much money on getting a good color accurate monitor and just screw up color accuracy entirely? I mean, it's only after 9 PM, and I didn't spend money on specifically a good color accurate monitor. I just spent money on a big monitor with, you know, decent refresh rate. There was a time limit. The answer was 2. 7, 1, 2. Do let me know if there's one that you just can't see that I can. Or the other way around. It's a 5. That's a 6. I'll go a bit slower. That's another 6. 2. This should be easy, right? Because this is color on grey. 1. So unless you have grey vision, this should all work. 8. 9. 5. A little bit trickier. 2. 5. 6. This is definitely the trickiest so far. 4. 4. I imagine it gets more difficult. 6. Those are differently colored backgrounds, because this is all grey in the background, so yeah, might as well speed through this a little bit. This isn't it, right? Wait, this is it? You can't see a couple of those. Oh, interesting. Okay, that one seems to have color. Yada yada yada, I don't give a crap. Okay, 3. 8. Why is it all with a grey background? Yeah, if you can't see a couple of these, then you're definitely colorblind. I want colored backgrounds. I want the difficult ones. Hang on, do we get any colored backgrounds here? Oh yes, we do. Well, that's very clearly an 8. Start and open. That's not. 7. 9. That one took me a while. I thought it was an 8 or a 9. But there's just barely any color there. 4. You know, this one is super easy for me. But I do wonder if for some people this is not visible. 6. 5. We get a lot of this like pink green stuff. Red green is common. So pink green might like be something like that. 8. Oh, this one's on the trickier side, although I did see one immediately. 3, very, very clear to me. 2. 5. Normal color vision. But why was the only background color like green? It seems that so much of this is on grey, which I find odd. Like I would have expected one that be like green and a bit of a different shade of green, and you know, something like that. See how accurately you can see that, but it isn't. Let's do one more. I'm just curious to see if we get any of that. Ooh, enter the number. Okay, this is interesting. Let's zoom in a little bit more. 26. If you can't see any of these, the nice thing is they'll stay on the screen. I wouldn't trust any online tests. I mean, they still work. Like, I can see 15 here in the top right. If you can't, you're colorblind. It's as clear as that. Doesn't mean that they're any kind of way too perfect. If you ace the test and it says you have perfect color vision, you should not necessarily trust that. But if I can see something here and you can't, you're colorblind. And the other way around. So if you can't see any of these, then please do say, because that is interesting. For me, I think well, no, they're all fairly clear. Maybe the 5 will be the most difficult one to see out of these 4. This middle one, well, middle, there's no middle. The 12 here is super easy for me. Took this one and got a 73 one on this one. What did you do? 79 or 78? I can see how you see it for an 8, especially if you do it quickly. 29. 8. You can test for color blindness, but not for tetrachromacy. What is tetrachromacy? You said 23. 23. I mean, 7 looks a bit like it too, so I get it. It's not what I expected though from that if you got it wrong. I want more... I want tests that are difficult for me, but... It seems that I have good enough color vision. Having a 4th cone, meaning you can see more colors than normal. That makes sense, because the monitors already show fewer colors than what someone with normal color vision can see. So yeah, you can't test for that. I mean, there are monitors that have like 10-bit colors instead of 8-bit. I think my brother has a monitor like that, which can show much more colors. You don't really need it, like unless you do like color correction work and something like that. But my brother definitely doesn't. Can also, you know, be nice for things like movies and whatever, but only works if they've been made with on 10-bit machines, of course. Because if I upload a YouTube video, well, I have an 8-bit screen, so it's obviously going to be an 8-bit color. I mean, Roller Coaster Tycoon doesn't use many colors at all. How do I check if I have a 10-bit monitor? I have no idea. I Google the name of your monitor, I guess. But, you know, you should also be able to find the info on what monitors are connected to your PC somewhere in your PC. I have no idea where. The internet probably knows. But you definitely can, or should be able to. AI can on the fly convert the signal to 10-bit with interpolation between the colors, still to give a smoother transition. It's not perfect though, but it's probably, yeah, it's better than nothing, I guess. Whereas my vision is quite decent. Now, my color vision is really good. My vision is okay. I don't need glasses, but, you know, it could be better. Because there have been at times where, you know, someone could read it while I couldn't, but I don't need glasses. But my hearing is not great. My hearing is fine. If I'm, you know, just talking to someone one-on-one or, you know, in a bit of a quiet place, then it's fine. But as soon as it's a bit more, you know, there are other people talking, you know, things like a lecture hall on break, stuff like that. As soon as it's like that, then my hearing kind of goes to shit. So, and that was sometimes a bit annoying, because someone would say something to me, you know, in a break of a lecture or something, and I would register that, you know, they said something to me, but I would have no idea what they said, and I would have to ask them to repeat it. Have you been too much of a metalhead in the past? This is not hearing loss, this has been a problem with me from birth. Like, I've had tubes in my ears. And they... I don't remember what it was, but before I had them, apparently my hearing was really bad. And then the tubes in my ears improved it a lot. But I got them really young, so I don't remember what it was before that. But apparently... I should ask my mom about that, but apparently there were certain things I just couldn't hear before. But no, thankfully I don't have hearing loss. I don't listen to loud music very much. Like, I listen to metal, but I don't usually put it on very loudly. So the music is loud, but you know, kind of different definition of loud music. You know what I mean. Don't lie, you listen to RCT2's carousel music all day long. Oh, please no. That would... No. Just no. You know, Roller Coaster Tycoon is my job, which means that in my off time, I like to not listen. I like to not listen to that music. Oh hey, I never built a path towards this. Wait a minute, is there a 10-second waiting time? Oh damn it. That's why there's such a long queue here. There we go, that should be better. History of every carousel song in RCT. Now, I should do a video like that, but I do have a really interesting video coming up for you tomorrow. It's similar to my no path video, except it's a bit shorter than I expected. It's only about 16 minutes. It's because I don't actually play all of the scenarios. I just kind of show that it works. Should make a tier list of all the ride songs in RCT 1 and 2. You know, most of them I don't really have an opinion about. I use all the rides, you know, coasters, flat rides, very frequently, so I actually have an opinion about them, but I don't really listen to the musics very often, except for a few. Like, Acid Style is an Open RCT2 one, so is Blizzard. Candy Style, I know, of course. Dodgems, I know. Dodgems Speed Style 2 is Open RCT2. Egyptian, I know somewhat well. Extraterrestrial, I don't know if that's open. Definitely don't know it. Fantasy, I don't really know. Galaxy, I believe, is open. Gentle, I know very well, of course. Horror, I don't really know. Ice, I don't really know. Jungle Drums, I do know. Jurassic, yes, that's the epic one that I used in my longest coaster video, the Universe Coaster. Martian, I don't know. Mechanical, I think I know. Medieval, I know. Modern, I don't really know. Mystic is open. Organ, I like. Oriental, I don't really know. Pirates is, I believe, just the sea shanty thing. Prehistoric, I don't know. Ragtime, I think I know. Ragtime 2 is open. Rockstyle 1 and 2, I know. I don't really know 3. I know Roman Fanfare. So I probably, if we say don't know a style, probably about a third. Like Toyland Style, I don't know. Urban Style, I don't know. Oh, Prehistoric is open. Let's listen to it. Kind of like it. This is just the epic one, the Jurassic style. And that's the one I used at the start of my longest coaster video. I'm still really proud of that intro. It's about a minute long. It's me at my most epic. Hang on, I'll just get it for you. I want to show that off again because I'm proud of it. I'll make it a bit quieter. Otherwise it's really loud. Imagine boarding a roller coaster train, not knowing what lies ahead. You think it will be a short, fun ride, but oh, how wrong you are. An hour after you board it, you start to get really worried, but the operators promise the ride will start soon. A week later, still nothing has happened, and by now your phone has ran out of battery, so all communication with the outside world is lost. Winter comes and goes, and yet you still don't depart. Many seasons later, you see big flashes in the sky from some kind of war being fought by nations that didn't exist yet when you so innocently joined the queue. Thousands, tens of thousands, millions of years pass and you're still sat in the same place, not having moved an inch. Suddenly, it becomes unbearably hot and you realize that the sun has lived its life and is now exploding, obliterating everything in the solar system. Except for you. You are still stuck on the same ride, wondering if you will ever be free from your suffering. Welcome to the Universe Coaster. Ain't that nice? Hello everyone. Yeah, shut up. There are a couple of things here which I'm quite proud of. You start off smiling, and I mean it's called you, and it's the grassy terrain. Then here, you're smiling a little bit less. You're still happy. Now it's raining, and you're really not happy anymore. A little bit later, it's snowing, and the ground has turned to snow. Then when they're fighting, the ground has turned to dirt, because the grass has all gone away over the many years. Even later, when I'm talking about the sun exploding, it's all turned to stone. Not even dirt is left. And at the very end, we go back to the grass, but you are very sad and tired. And you think, I want to get off the Universe Coaster. Those kind of little details. By the way, this was quite a difficult shot. That zooming out thing. You're suffering. Welcome to the Universe Coaster. Because I believe this is like one level off the furthest I could be zoomed out. So I zoomed too much off and I had to be exactly in the middle, and it's kind of a bit tricky to get right. I'm also really proud of this whole comparison, right? It contains an estimated 2 trillion galaxies. By the time you are done counting every atom of every star, planet and gas cloud in every galaxy in the entire observable universe, you will finally have completed the new longest roller coaster ever built. I hope this helps you understand how ridiculously long the Universe Coaster really is and why it... Okay, this was a complete accident. I did not intend for the guests to ride it again. It just happened, and I kept it in. Almost. Alright, CMX. In this shot, it was on purpose. But the first time I recorded it, it happened. And then I was like, wait a minute. That's perfect. I'll redo the shot so that it works for that. And then, of course, it happened again because it's deterministic like that. What I especially did, what I redid, because you see that most guests are not reboarding. So I had one of the guests selected that didn't reboard, so I loaded it up again, picked one of the guests that I knew would reboard, because in the very short term, it is deterministic, it will do the exact same. So in this shot, I knew this particular guest would reboard, but the fact that they reboarded was a complete accident. I did not mean for that to happen. I did not think about that, being hilarious as it is, I did not think about doing that. So I'm very happy with that just accidentally happening. And yeah, it works really, really well. I got so many memes about that in the comments as well. Alright, let's give this a bit more of an interesting color scheme than the standard one. How about Christmas? Finally caught a Marcel stream. Welcome, Gerald. I always stream on Wednesday at 8 PM. Well, except next week. And except 2 weeks after that. Wait, no, that's not true. That's not true. 3 weeks after that. 27th of March, also not. Yeah, my streaming schedule will be a bit more irregular in the short term. The colorblind coaster, hell yeah. Christmas must be boring for people with red-green colorblind vision. They can't see shit. Okay, what is my most profitable coaster? I said I was going for 70k a month, but we're only at, well, 40k in October. We could have easily gone for 70k, but I would have needed to build coasters a lot faster than that, and I didn't want to bother with that. Vertical drop roller coaster 1. Well, that's not very surprising. It's made 56k. Steel Wild Mouse, this is total profit. Which you can charge a lot for. Mars, Jupiter, Jupiter, Mars. Corkscrew coaster, Rotodrop. Rotodrop, most profitable non-coaster ride. Profit per hour though. Okay, also vertical drop coaster 1. Customers an hour. What? Chairlift? What? I mean, it has 2 stations. Of course, that helps. It's only about 1600 a station. I never expected that, but yeah, both stations have a full queue line, so that works. You're not charging a lot for it, but I mean it's free, so we're definitely not charging a lot for it. Still there. Keep reboarding it all the time. Who knows? There's at least a healthy number of guests going on it. Queue length 64 for the chairlift. That's mostly not long because I have high throughput rides with short queue lines. Queue time, only 5 minutes, and that's on the merry-go-round. Excitement. Of course, the vertical drop coaster. Oh, I never checked the stats for this, but yeah, 8.31, 9.9, and 4.62. Is there anything over 10 intensity? No. The vertical drop coaster has the highest of all, followed by the Steel Wild Mouse. Nausea. The Rotodrops. Of course, the Rotodrops. Imagine going to a theme park full of awesome and exciting roller coasters just to ride the chairlift all day. Hey, whatever makes you happy. You know, maybe some chairlift fetishist goes to the theme park with their kids, and the kids, you know, go off and ride all the exciting rides, and they just ride the chairlift and have a really good time. Who are you to judge the chairlift fetishists? Like, I think it's not good for our society if we start judging those people. We should be a little bit more open-minded. Maybe chairlifts are sexy. What do you know? I will judge them. I would say hard, but I think they are already. In this park, they would be. That's a very nice chairlift we got there. It was like a documentary about a guy who got married to his car. And had sex with his car. I guess all the power to him. Like, he's not hurting anyone. I find it weird, but I guess he's not hurting anyone. So, him do him, I guess. Marcel will say anything, no filter. If you think that's no filter, then... that's not no filter. If anything, me and no filter would have a lot more swearing. I don't swear a lot on stream. Every few streams I will say the F word. And, you know, might say shit or something, but shit's not really a swear word, is it? I've seen Marcel with less filter. If you want unfiltered Marcel Hoover, then you should come hang out on my Discord server in the voice chat whenever I am there. I'm unfiltered there. Well, not true, I'm not entirely unfiltered. Like, I'm still in public there, I'm still filtered, but much less. I don't consider myself that inappropriate. Like, talk about, you know, having a fun about chairlift fetishists. Like, that's not that adult. Oh, I think that my streams are like 13 plus. Like, yeah, they're not really for kids, but it's also like teens, it's fine, I think. If you haven't heard those words by 13, you live a sheltered life. Basically, right? And a chairlift fetishist, you know, would be someone who gets horny from chairlifts. So what? Like, that... Like teens discuss worse things among themselves. And see, at least nowadays, worse things on the internet. Sub for chairlifts. Thank you. Anyone else who wants to subscribe for chairlift sex? Well, thank you, Hella Brimbar. I didn't know that a wise old elf would be so into that. Oh, thank you, Gerald, as well. I found my niche. I should become a chairlift streamer. Like, you have your hot tub streamers. I just take a vlogging camera, or my phone, I guess, to a chairlift. Take my shirt off, and now I'm a chairlift fetishist streamer. The money will roll in. I was thinking about it, but I'm more into escalators. Oh, I can do escalators for you. Exodus Movement of the People. Which is a hell of a name. That should be quite near the character limit for Twitch names, right? I don't know what the limit is, but yours is long enough that it seems to me like it should be very near that limit. Whatever it is. It is exactly. Well, there we go. 720, 740, 361. I like those stats. Wouldn't the chairlift be exciting if it went between the loops of roller coasters? Oh, absolutely. Like, this one's already in between a bunch of rides, but imagine indeed, like, roller coasters going just above it, looping around it, going very fast, you know, side by side with it. That would be very exciting. Or if just, you know, the scenery is very nice. Like, I've had a good time sitting in ski lifts. If Slime was here, we'd be going bananas for chairlift stacks. Oh, Slime is one kinky ass boy, so yeah. Don't tell him I said that about him. Yeah, go ahead and tell him, he knows. He knows. I can say that about him. Like, that's not something you should say about your viewers, but I can say it about Slime. Like the transport ride at Disney World going through Space Mountain. Maybe. I have no idea. Never been to Disney. But if it does, then I guess yes. Quote what he just said. I'm afraid there seem to be no mods around. Because Max just left. I can add it, but I shouldn't add my own quotes. That's weird. I could appoint a temporary mod. But I'm not going to do that. Didn't see Carrie come in either. No, she wasn't here. You could message him on Discord, Hoover, if you want Max to come back. Just to add a quote. No mods, we can start a revolution. I mean, there's still an admin here. Me. So, good luck. We are overthrowing your channel to become a chairlift channel. I just make up those kind of words, right? People talking about chairlifts not very exciting, and I was like, well, what if you're a chairlift fetishist? It was just a little bit of fun. I never expected that to become like a thing. I love it though, I absolutely love it. That's the kind of shit I'm here for. Since the chairlift is a transport ride, aside from prices, nothing will really dissuade guests from using them. No. As long as it's free, at least, guests will ride any transport ride they stumble upon. No matter the stats. No matter the rain. No matter the anything. Oh, we're a bit too low. There we go. Challenge, 99% of paths beat chairlifts for a park. It's just not very... Oops. The problem with that is that it's not efficient at all, as guests will not ride a transport ride to get places. So, they might want to go to Wooden Coaster 1, but then go in a chairlift that takes them to Looping Coaster 1. Drink some water. Good idea. Will they go to the entrance like coasters, like in the action of the guests at that? They will not head for transport rides. I mean, they might, but the thing is they will always ride a free transport ride is, you know, if someone... sometimes you see people bumping into this queue line, right, and not going on the ride. That's impossible for a transport ride if it's free. If they bump into the ride, into the entrance, with the banner, they will always go on it if it's free. Always. And that's the thing. Unless there are two people trying to enter the queue line at the very same time, because only one person can enter the queue line at the same time. Rename the chairlift Fetish Simulator 2024. You know, I should use this park in a shot of a video and just have that open, like in shot. Yeah, just like use this in a shot. And how many people see that and be like, what? Excuse me? I've had that before. Like, I had, and that was even unintentional, I didn't realize that, but maybe it was for the densest park or something like that. No, there I made the joke very obviously, but I showed at some point my Bumbly Beach, very dense park. I showed that on screen. I had all the ride names, and like one was called Double Penetration, one was called Triple Penetration. We had After Neighbor, you know, little just kind of weird names. And people in the comments picked up on that. They were like, "Ew, what? Hmm? Interesting names. Name it Adult Adventures." Credits to the Bamazoos. Adult. How about that? Adultery Adventure. Adultery Adventures in the chairlift. And he's... I can't say that. I can't say that. That's heading into 18 plus or at least 16 plus territory. That's like when someone did like the Amsterdam Red Light District park and had a ride called after the white substance that we associate with the red light district. I was like, I can't say that. You know, I have standards, believe it or not. I should add cash machines everywhere. Also just generally, well, not there, but generally just more stalls. No. Is this one already getting uses? Yeah, already 3 uses. Hell yeah. Objectively best food stand. I say cotton candy. It looks very nice, the cotton candy. Doesn't fill up very much. I don't know what the best food stand would be. My favorites will always be the drink stall and the hamburger stall. It's like as vanilla as you can get. I'm really boring in that regard. Okay, what we should do is refurbish some old rides. So that we can charge more for them again. Okay, don't care about the merry-go-round. Let's see how high we get if we refurbish like all the rides. Yeah, well, let's just sort by age here. And I'll just refurbish all of them. Lemonade stall is my favorite, I don't know why. Lemonade stall is definitely like the second most classic. After the drink stall. What do you mean ride's not empty? Oh, it's broken down. It needs to be fixed first. Before I can expel all the guests. Every 30 minutes and every 10 minutes, please. Okay, there we go. Now we can do that. And then all the ones that are built last year. What does refurbishing do? It basically renews the ride, as if you would sell it and replace it with the exact same one. With a few benefits. First off, it's instant. Secondly, you keep the stats, you don't need to retest it. And thirdly, it allows you to do it for underground rides. If a coaster is partially underground, and I have a few of those in this park, you can't build a pre-built design partially underground. That doesn't work. But refurbishing, of course, doesn't care about that. And it costs the same as if you would remove it and replace it. So 30% of the costs, because once a ride is opened, you only get 70% back. Oops, we're not advertising anymore. You know, doing this refurbishment in the rain, it's not a bad idea. So we were on 43k. Should be significantly more now. Well, not in August, because we refurbished the rides and you know, you need to double close them and it's raining. So definitely not in August. If I could transplant one thing through time from Open RC2 to RC1 and later games, it'd be the refurbishment function. It's very useful. Definitely not in my top percentage of Open RC2 features. You know, there are a lot more, there are a lot better ones, but it is very good. It's almost one of those functions that I feel should have been there from the start. I guess for quite a few functions. Like the way that path that queue lines work when you connect them to path. Or auto-placing staff. That's not default. That's not vanilla. Test mode ghost trains. Very, very useful too, yes. That's of course nicked from RCT3. It's an amazing feature. Okay, the large half loop doesn't quite work here. And we'll go with a twist. What a twist! Hey, Marcel stream, yes! Welcome, Akitim23. Shall I do the standard joke? Can't you believe that there were 22 Akitims before you? It's kind of like a streamer dad joke, that one. Well, yeah, all the people do too, of course. You know, I've been told that flying coasters are supposed to be mostly flying. So, you know, upside down like this instead of right side up like this. So when you have long right side up sections, like this section, that is very unrealistic. Which seems logical to me that that's true. And oh, we're already aligned. I thought we weren't aligned for some reason. This one is already ice colored. Or ice themed. One too low. There we go. No longer too low. Hang on. 16. Oh, that was the correct height. Sometimes it's really hard to see what is the correct height and what isn't. Okay, how fast do we go on that final bit? Should be very, very fast. Whee! 114, I think I saw. Maybe 112? Ooh, that chainlift there definitely isn't necessary. We might have some lateral G stuff. No, but the margin isn't very large. Do you like RCT3? I never managed to get into the game. Last time I played, I was still a kid as well, so I was pretty garbage. I like it. Summer Air has massive nostalgia for me. Just the music from RCT3. We charged 2160 for this one, baby. It's the 10th of September and we're already on 18,000. We should... God damn it, it's gonna rain again. I was gonna say we should break 50k, but not if it's raining. Hang on, let's fast forward a bit. Oh, we're gonna break 50k anyway. Well, what can we do in a month where it doesn't rain? God damn it, October! I should refurbish some older rides, like Rotodrop 2. think the others are not sorted by age. Like, I don't think these are sorted within this by age. Because, yeah, I definitely... Well, maybe. No, I built the Junior before the Giga. It's still above freezing. I'm not sure if it can even go negative. I think it can go negative, not by much if it can. I'm not sure though. And in March it also rains. We did reach 59,000 in October though. But can we even get a month without rain? Okay, Giga Coaster is now old. Wait, the Giga Coaster is older than the Junior Coaster. Did I already refurbish the Junior Coaster or something? I think these are sorted correctly. Yeah, because they go to the top once they are refurbished. I'm refurbishing this one for the second time. Minimum is 0 in RC3. Okay, so it can't go negative. You know, they have their first value drop after just 5 months. Which is why refurbishing these is still useful. Obviously don't know when exactly I am at right that I refurbished less than 5 months ago. But I'll just refurbish for a while. I have the cash to do it. Let's see if we can reach the 70,000 that I said I was going to shoot for at the start of the video. Technically 0 is both positive and negative. No, technically it's neither. Alright, let's see if May can do us wonders if it doesn't bloody rain. Come on, May. Give us 70. 67. Well, that's really close to 10 times the goal. Meanwhile, we have 515,000 in the bank. Let's see what June does. Yeah. Yeah. 70,500. We did 10 times the goal, baby. Woo! A little bit of assistance from the price generator and the refurbish function, but still. We got this when we had a company value of 72,000. Now we have a company value of 1.2 million. Lol. Alright. That is it. I want to thank you very much for watching this stream. I hope you enjoyed me exploiting this stream. Oh, whoops. I wanted to see who I could rate and I just watched a bit of my own stream. I want to thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed me exploit the snow. Let's see if there's someone I don't know streaming Roller Coaster Tycoon. Natty is streaming. And there's Twilight Skyline, who's apparently doing a charity stream. Well, that's fun. Alright, let's rate them. And thank you all for being here. And I will see you tomorrow on the YouTubes or Sunday on the Twitch tubes. Have a good night, good afternoon, good evening, or good morning, whichever it is for you. Have fun at the ride, a Twilight Skyline stream, and I bid thee goodbye. Go.